What's up guys, Bionic here, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. We have more faction wars today because I completed yet another one. So slowly but surely we're getting there, guys. This today was the Bannerlords. I tried this multiple times before. Today it just kind of worked, okay? I will also say quickly that the team that I'm going to show you guys worked on stage 20 on auto with 3 stars. Okay, so it's a pretty solid team overall, but for stage 21 it's all about RNG, getting the stuns on the ad, because this is basically the same boss as the Sacred Order. Okay, so I kind of knew what to do. You almost, in this case, because I don't have block revive, I'm not looking to kill those ads, I'm literally just looking to control them. Okay, so we're gonna go through the run, then we're gonna do the champions. And good thing is I kind of forgot to start the recording at the start of the run, so I'm gonna save you guys like 5 minutes of this run. Okay, we're gonna go straight onto the boss fight. For the waves, it's kind of like, again, the same thing as the Sacred Order. It's relatively easy. The first wave, I literally put it on auto. And then for the second wave, I also kind of put it on auto. I do have a decent amount of crowd control in here with the Killian in a Relentless set. I have my Horden in a Lifesteal set. I also have this Lugan in a Relentless set. I was going to do stun because I didn't have enough of the stun for the boss fight, but this ended up being just fine. Okay, so here we go. We're going to play right here. So just about done with this wave. Okay, again, you do have some RNG on the wave 2 as well. You gotta kill that Steel Skull and that Man-Eater as quickly as possible. Okay, so here we go for a stun, and it lands right off the bat on one of the ads. Perfect. Now I gotta hope to get lucky and land a stun when it comes back around in my not booked Killian, because it's my only stun for the second ad. Okay, so I mean, it does happen once in a while, but for both of them to happen, that is a huge gamble. Okay, so a lot of RNG once again. Another thing that I sort of tried to do on this last run here was to not focus too much on the ads. I was sort of like taking a couple hits. I built my team so that I'm relatively strong enough to take a few hits because I have a heal from the Valerie and I have a heal from the Lugan, the Steadfast. So I can somewhat tank a little bit of the damage from the ads and allies join attack like you saw there with the boss, but not too much of it. I think at some point you're going to see that I get pretty low on health on some of my champions, but I finished the fight with full health everywhere. Okay. The Killian here is doing pretty much all the work. He's the guy with the turn meter reduction. He's the guy with the turn meter steal. He's the guy with the stun. He's the guy with the block cooldown skills. So like, he's sort of my only crowd control champion in here. So this guy has right now a very, very fast Relentless set. I'll show you guys the spreadsheet in a second because it's the same sets that I've been reusing, okay, that I've been showing you guys. So I also try to control here the shield and the heal from this Valerie right before we take some of the hits. You saw right there, barely did any damage. So the boss is not the problem in this fight. It really is all about these ads, okay? So when both of them are not crowd control, here is where it gets complicated. Then I have to sort of try and work on their turn meter a little bit more than I do on the boss. I also need to pay attention to the allies join attack from the boss when that skill is going to be back up, so that I have either the shield that's ready to go from the Valerie, so if I do take some damage, I can resist it and not die. Here we go for a stun. See, we don't get it, but we get an extra turn. So then we go into the A1. I barely used the A2 from the Killian in this fight. It was really just about the A1 and the A3. That's it. That's the only thing Killian was there to do. And obviously with War Master, basically these guys pretty much have all War Master at this point. If you haven't figured it out already, your damage comes from War Master or Giant Slayer, not raw damage from your gear. Your gear is all about control and survivability, and the damage is, like I said, from those Masteries, okay? We do also have the like block damage on Killian. Not that it's the most important. To be honest, the guy that was coming close to dying the most often was my Lugan. I don't know if it's because he's in the lead. He has a decent amount of defense, as you'll see with the gear, but I feel like he was the one. I didn't really use the ally protect as well, or at least not that much. I was kind of just going for the A1, 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 trying to get more procs of extra turns to get more heals, right, so that I can survive another hit. Instead of, let's say, 3, I can make it to 4 hits, you know what I mean? So here you see we have stuns on both of the adds, okay? So at some point I got really lucky, and even though it's like 85% chance of landing from the Killian on the A3, there's still a 15% chance it doesn't work because he's not booked, like I said. Anyway, all of that being said, at some point I do kill one of the adds, and the boss will res the add. But when you do that, what you can then do is quickly kill the other one, and then that skill for the revive will be on a cooldown for 4 turns. So if you get control of the second add that the boss revived, you have one less to worry about. And since I only have a single target stun, this made it relatively easy. That is something I had not tried in the previous runs, and now it worked. Okay, so I don't know if that's the only reason why this worked, but we're gonna fast forward now a little bit that I've explained everything. It hasn't rezzed yet. We're gonna keep going right there. Okay, so we killed one, then we take a hit. Look at my Lugan. Look at my, I'm dead. I'm basically dead. But if I get control over the adds, I should be all right. Then we go for a little heal. We get a shield from the A1 on top of that. We resist that hit from the ad. So I mean, this wasn't easy. Again, I'm not saying this was easy. I'm just saying that, you know, RNG sometimes is on your side. So we took a little hit there, and then we're gonna start doing a couple more A1s from the Lugan. We're slowly gonna heal all the way back up, literally all the way back up. Here we go for the stun, and we do get it, okay? So at this point though, he hasn't revived the other ad, which he's gonna do in a second, so we'll fast forward a little bit. We're gonna keep going right there, okay? So he goes on sleep, revives the other ad. I still have the stun on the other one. Now I'm gonna force, I'm gonna like, force target that one, and I'm gonna try and kill it as quickly as possible without touching the boss so that I don't revive him from his sleep right until his full turn meter is done. So this is what we do. We eventually end up killing the ad on the left not too long after, and then we get the stun on the one on the right, and now we're good. We are not going to touch this ad anymore. It is all about the boss. That's it. I have control over the ad. I'm good. Now it's all about turn meter control on the boss with the Killian's A1. War Master doing all the damage as quickly as possible. Let's go. I'm also sort of like waiting for my stun to come back around only when this ad has woken up from the previous stun, because it's a 2-turn stun, right? So I don't want to waste it right now. I'd rather use the full extent of the previous one, those 2 turns, and then use it again once it's over. Not sure if it really matters, but you know, that's sort of what I tried to do for this run, and it worked out. Okay, so at some point this ad will lose that stun, and we go right back into a second stun for 2 turns, and now we're good. That's it. Boss fight, and now look at our health. We're pretty much all the way back up to full health, and we're literally gonna finish with full health. That's it. Boom. Okay, so 15 minutes, 43 seconds. I would say this took me probably 15 or so tries, okay, with the gear that I'm going to show you guys today. Again, maxed out team in a sense. You do not need this, okay? We've shown this before, but when I built this team, it was in the sort of like the plan that I was then going to use this on auto, and it worked. It works for auto stage 20, so this team is good to go with the current gear, although this gear is not going to stay there for the time being. Anyway, all that being said, enough of the boss fight. Let's go over these champions real quick for you guys. We're gonna put this in order by faction, and here's the first, it's the first one, right? Bannerlord. Okay, so we've got our Relentless Killian. I've shown this before. I'm gonna swap this over here, and I'm gonna show you guys. This was my Armiger, which then went to my Allure, which now has gone to my Killian. This is my Relentless, very speedy defense type sort of like Relentless set. Okay, so we do have a defense percent chest. Again, we're not looking for damage from this guy. We do have crit rate gloves, because on Armiger and Allure you need high crit rate, okay, for their skills to work. And then the rest is just all about speed, a lot of speed on this shield. 5-star speed boots with some crit rate. Again, I was looking for a decent amount of crit rate. We do have on this guy 2 of the new accessories, okay, to prevent the skill cooldown. So it did happen a couple of times in there. That is huge. It really helps. This one is attack. This one is crit damage. And then we have an accuracy banner. Really important. You want this guy to have very high accuracy, because you got to get this head ringer to land. 5-turn cooldown. It's huge. This cannot miss, okay? Of course, I could put books in this guy, but I don't use him elsewhere, so it was not worth it. And then here are the Masteries, kind of just going here for lasting gifts because of his passive, Cycle of Magic. Maybe that occasional sort of like reset of one of the skills would help out. We do want Life Drinker because, you know, we don't have any Lifesteal. Even though we have healers, I feel like this kind of helps a lot. With War Master, can proc and make a pretty nice heal. So that's the Killian. Then our Lugan, he used to have his own gear. But the reason why now maybe it worked is because I grabbed the gear from a Lightsworn, which was a Relentless Nuke type. A little bit more damage, a little bit slower, either defense percent or HP percent, because they're different. Like Lightsworn is defense, but Lugan is HP. So I just literally brought the whole thing over. Copy paste from my Lightsworn, so we've got like overall speed, a good amount. A lot here as well. This is not great, but like it's all right. Decent amount of crit rate. 6-star speed boots with some defense percent and HP. We have the crit damage gloves, which are not maxed out. We have defense, flat ring. Then we have for the amulet a crit damage. Again, this guy will give you better heals if he hits really hard, but he scales off of HP. So it's hard for me to get a good balance of him being tough, because he does use ally protection with just a lot of HP. So I kind of went with a mix of both. And then we have right here an HP banner. Very low accuracy. Why? Because he's not my main crowd control dude. That's Killian's job. He does have Mark of Silence here, which adds the block cooldown skills. Kind of happened every once in a while, but Killian is better. Okay, Killian is better at doing it. This is what I was really after here. A little bit more heals from the A1, so Relentless just kind of made more sense. We have the Masteries right here with War Master, Lasting Gifts, kind of the same thing. Master Hexer, Inspect into sort of like a healer support build, right? And so that's pretty much it for that guy. Then we've got the Horden. So Horden, same thing. Let's do the Masteries first. We've got War Master, kind of like a Nuke build, but with War Master instead of, let's say, Helm Smasher. We do have Lasting Gifts here again, Spirit Haste, although not sure that really helps, but that's all right. It worked. I did max out the skills on this Horden because he is a free champion that was given to us, and I love maxing out those champions to make more content. And so this guy got the gear from Fenax. Fenax is the one I use for the Sacred Order right here. Okay, so he's down here. This is our Lifesteal Nuke attack. I had never really built a set like this. I actually ended up not using the gloves from Bulwark, not using the boots from Seer, and not using the sword from Occult Brawler. I kind of came up with an independent set, which is the one you see right here. So again, copy paste from my Fenax from the Sacred Order yesterday, and literally the same gear. Okay, so this has been working out just fine. We do have 2 pieces of Cruel here. So he's not the fastest. He could be a lot faster. I'm probably going to try and improve this eventually to be closer to 200 speed. But like this chest piece right here is huge, really solid. Then these boots and shield is, you know, alright-ish. We have attack right here with some defense percent. We have crit damage, and then we have attack, okay, for the banner. So I mean, this could have been useful to have more accuracy for this to land a little bit more, but my Stag Night was there for the decreased attack. Okay, so I was not really looking for high accuracy on this guy. I just wanted him to deal more damage, try and kill the waves as quickly as possible, because you'll notice I don't have any AoE nukers here. I'm literally just going single target again, like the Fenax and the Sacred Order. So it's all about support and having this guy kill all the ads, having the Killian control all the ads and the waves. Okay, then finally we have Stag Night. I did a full build video on this guy, so I'm not going to spend too much time. This is defense and support. I do have Eagle Eye on this guy. He could have had a stun set, but mine is dressed in a shield set because I use him in some dungeons. I want that shield set for my Seer to eat so that I can nuke the waves faster. So I did not change his gear. Okay, he has a good amount of speed, a lot of survivability. That little shield helps, and we can extend that with the Valerie, which is pretty solid. So this guy has like defense percent, and then some HP here and there, right? So his total HP is not that huge, but like again, I just wanted an extra buff, okay? And I wanted him to be relatively tough. So all the skills are done, right? And the accuracy is relatively high because I also used him in Tag Arena for a while, so I wanted that to be as high as possible. Masteries done. Okay, finally, the Valerie. We've got a build that was done for mainly the clan boss. I had built a Valerie because I wanted to make more content with her for clan boss, try out a few things, but never really got around to it. Eventually I might. But the skills are all done because this is pretty easy. It's a rare champion, easy to do on my account. And then here's the gear. It's not that impressive. We just wanted her to survive and to be fast, okay? I suppose you could have more of the new accessories on her. That would be great. But aside from that, she has her own sort of like heal. And then with the Lugan, I did not really need her to be extremely tough. I just did not want her to be targeted at first, okay? So we have speed here, speed, just, I guess, a random defense shield. We have the defense chest to go along with that shield, and then we have HP % gloves. This could easily be, you know, rank 12, but like, if you don't need it, don't do it. Same thing with the ring here. We have HP, and then we have the amulet with HP, okay? So the reason why Valerie is in here is because her kit is actually quite interesting overall. We have this heal along with shield on the A3 on a 5-turn cooldown. It's not a huge heal, but that little shield does help a little bit to mitigate some of the damage. And then the A2 is really interesting because we're going to increase the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. So this works really well with the passive of Killian and the passive of Horden, okay, if you can time it properly, or even like the shield set of Stag Night as you walk in there, assuming they don't, you know, destroy it before it expires, but you can extend that to a 4-turn, right? Then we also have the ability to clear a debuff by 1 turn. So it's effectively a cleanse of like a stun or a fear. Really interesting. 25% increased attack is also, you know, a little bit of an extra. A1 is pretty straightforward, but again, with War Masters, she was still dealing a little bit of damage. So guys, that's it. Banner Lords 21 and Stage 20 on auto with this exact team with this gear. Pretty satisfied overall. And finally, the Great Hall, because it does affect the stats. So I want to know what you guys think about my Bannerlords team. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later.